vocabulary term for you guys here. When I have two lines that are cut by a single line, all right? Everyone see line P? It cuts both M and N in two spots. That line P's got a special name. The line that cuts two other lines in two spots, it's called the transversal. Okay, so that's line P for us here. Of course. So under where it says which line is the transversal, you can put line P as I get this back up. That's the line that cuts two distinct lines in two spots. And do you see how it has formed 8 angles? Everyone see how it's formed 8 angles? Okay, those 8 angles have a special relationship. Take a look at all the different types of angles I have here. Let's take care of number 6 right now, because this is just a review. Vertical angles. I'm just going to ask somebody again from Unit 1 and Unit 2. Name a pair of vertical angles up here. Right, I don't need anything special. Just name a pair of vertical angles up here. Start off right. Here we go. 1, 4. Stephanie, give me a pair of vertical angles up here. Okay, angle 1 and angle 3. So angle 1 and angle 3. Okay, we're used to those. Now look at all the other names, 1 through 5. Do you see how they have some repetition of words? Like 1 and 2 have the word alternate. 4 and 1 have the word interior in it. Right? That will direct you to where to look on the diagram. Let's say over this long 4-day break that you guys had, I redid some of the interior of my house over this 4-day break. What do you know I did? Where did I go in the house? I did work where? Inside, right? So anytime an angle has the word interior, you want to look inside the two lines. Okay, you want to look inside. If you see the word exterior, where do I want to look? Outside the lines, yes. All right. So the name of the angles will tell you where to look and then what angles I'm looking for. So let's look at number 1 right now. Alternate, what word do we see? Interior, so I'm going to be looking at either 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. Angles, alternate interior angles. So I know I'm looking inside. The alternate tells you we are on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so these angles are opposite sides of the transversal, and they're inside the parallel, not the parallel, but just the lines right now. So I'll give you this one, 3 and 6 are alternate interior. Look at your diagram. Do you see how 3 and 6 are on opposite sides of the transversal and inside your lines? Good. Now, that's not the only pair that I would consider alternate interior. I would also consider, what's the other pair I haven't touched that are also opposite and inside? 4 and 5. Okay, those are considered alternate interior angles. All right, number 2, what about alternate exterior now? You think you can give me a pair of 2 angles that you would consider alternate, opposite sides of the transversal, exterior, outside my lines here. Two. Bailey, what do you think?
2 and 7.
2 and 7 work for me. And there's another pair, which are 2 and 7 and? Oh, no, I'm just 2 and 7 and 1 and 8. Yep. All right, I'm going to skip over number 3 because that doesn't have any of our keywords, so I want to save that to last. So let's go to 4. Same side. What's the same side telling me? Same side of the transversal and interior. What do you think here now? Think you can find those angles I'm looking for? Same side, and they have to be inside now. Same side of the transversal, inside my lines. What do you think? Throw out a pair of angles there for me. 13, Jonathan.
Angle 3 and angle 5.
Good enough for me. I like it. 3 and 5. And also, there's another pair. 4 and 6. All right, sorry, I wrote that in the wrong spot. That should be 3 and 5. And what do we say? 3 and 5, 4 and 6. Okay, one more. Same side exterior. Give me a pair you see on your diagram that would be same side exterior. 15, Alexi. 1 and 7, good work. Along with 1 and 7, 2 and 8. Okay, now let's go to this last one because it doesn't have alternate, interior, same side, alternate. Corresponding. Everyone see how I make 4 angles on top? Slide them down to the bottom 4 angles. What angles would correspond to each other? All right, so I take this 4-pack on top, slide it down, name the angles that would match up, aka correspond with each other. We don't have to write them all out, just a few here. So what would 1 match up with? 1 and 6. Those are called corresponding angles. 1 and 6. There's a couple more, but let's just do another one. 3 and 3 would match up with 8. 3 and 8. And there's more. Yes, we could say 4 and 7, 2 and 5. Those are called corresponding when I match them up. All right. Next thing we got to talk about. We know the names. We know how to name them now. What is so great about them? Because the only thing we know is, what about vertical angles? They are congruent. But what about these? Are they congruent? Maybe they're supplementary? Let's find out. Now let's get into parallel lines. First, symbol from Unit 1. Because I don't want to keep writing the word parallel. Anybody to show off? Anybody remember what it was?
No.
Sure. Let me get right to pass. Anybody remember the fact about it? Parallel lines, symbol. Sally, what do you got?
Take an upside down T.
Oh, that's perpendicular. Perpendicular, that would be perpendicular. We got a couple lines involved. Couple lines involved. Alexi, pass. Henry, you need somebody to walk down with you? Okay. 2 vertical lines. Yep, 2 vertical lines. Here you go. 2 vertical lines, everyone. Parallel. Good. Now let's talk about markings on your diagram. You guys have hash marks for congruent segments, arc marks for congruent angles. If you're looking at a diagram, you will see arrows on the lines that are parallel to each other like this. Okay, I see that on a diagram. Those lines are parallel. Now here's where the magic happens. If I know lines are parallel, all these angles we just talked about are either congruent or supplementary. But the lines have to be parallel. So let's start with alternate interior angles. If lines are parallel, alternate interior angles are congruent. So somebody, again, go to my diagram. Name me a pair of alternate interior angles. The names tell you where to look. Alternate interior. Get in that habit. Name a pair of alternate interior. 11, okay. 3 and 5. So because they're alternate interior, that now makes them, take a look, congruent. If any angles are alternate interior, they are congruent. What other angles are congruent? Corresponding angles are congruent. So somebody go to my diagram now and give me a pair of corresponding. Remember, corresponding, take the 4-pack, slide it down. Name a pair of corresponding angles up here. 8. Sure. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. One more pair that are congruent, and that are your alternate exterior. Okay, alternate interior and now alternate exterior are congruent. So give me a pair of alternate exterior angles. 16, Bryson?
7 and 1.
7 and 1 look good to me. 7 is congruent to 1. All right, so any of the alternate interior, exterior, and the corresponding. Now, does that make all 8 of those angles congruent? No. Some of them are supplementary. What are the ones that are supplementary? Any of the same side ones are supplementary. So let's first start with same side interior. Same side interior. Name a pair of same side interior on my diagram. Remember, the same side means same side of the transversal. 3. Selden, give me a pair of same side.
5 and 6.
Okay, well, 5 and 6 they're not same side though. They're on opposite sides, right? I need something that's the same side of the transversal.
6 and 7.
6 and, okay. Interior though. Same side
6 and
in
3.
6 and 3. Everyone ready now? Watch what I'm going to write because it's not a congruent symbol in between them. 6 plus 3 is equal to, what am I going to set it equal to? 180, supplementary. Now go exterior for me. Same side exterior. Give me a pair of those angles. 2, Bailey.
1 and 8.
1 plus 8, angle 1 plus angle 8 is also equal to 180. So to make this easy on you, so you don't have to do a lot of memorization, anytime you hear the same side, they're always supplementary. Anytime you hear the alternate, congruent. The only other one that doesn't fit is corresponding, and those are congruent. Questions? Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Let's start with the basic one. Everyone see the diagram? See my symbols?
I'm going to stand here for 10 minutes and watch the teach.
Sure, you got it. What are those symbols on there?
It means that the
2 lines are parallel, right? So now I'm taking all my different types of angles. So what I need you to do in your group right now is, all right, I'm going to give you the 75. I don't care what angle you start with. Angle 1 or 2. Find them both. I don't care which one you start with. And hey, here's the other thing. I don't care if you use a parallel line fact we just discussed either. You can use anything from unit 2 or 1 we just discussed. All right, so talk it over in your group. I'll give you about a minute and a half. Just find the angle. Don't worry about the justification yet. Just find the angle measure, whether it be 1 or 2. I prefer both. And make sure you don't have to write it down, but make sure you can at least explain yourself if you get called on. Use anything from unit 1 and 2 as well. It doesn't have to be a special angle from the parallel lines.
I know. The justification is because they're same side interior. Yeah. Same side interior.
Okay, here we go. Any group confident in? You want to give me one of them here? Okay, group 1 up here. What do you have? What angle you want to give me?
1 is 105.
1 is 105. And I think you used something from previous units. How'd you know 105?
So we just subtracted 75 from 180 because we'll angle 1 instead of the one that's 75, which would be vertical or something like that.
Okay, they're supplementary. We're going to use a theorem because it says justify. So let's use a theorem that used to be on the board. Hey, notice they're not up there anymore, are they? But they're on your own now. All right, I'm not going to give you a cheat sheet like I did on the test either. All right, these are on your own. What type of angles did we call 1 and 75? They're supplementary because they were what? Linear pairs. So we're going to write linear pairs are supplementary. Good. Anybody want to get me to angle 2? Any group want to get me to angle 2? Jonathan, what did your group come up with? Also 75. Why? Just in your own words before I write something down official. Thank you. Corresponding, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're just not going to write the word corresponding. I'm going to get you guys in the habit because we're going to start proofs again tomorrow. What's going to go in your reasons column now if I wrote this? Parallel lines. You can start using the abbreviation, parallel. I don't know, you guys used to this in science class? This little arrow pointing to the right implies. Parallel lines imply. Jonathan, back to you. What type of angles are these? Corresponding. Abbreviate that CORR. Angles are, what am I going to finish this with? Congruent or supplementary? Look back if you need to. Congruent or supplementary? Corresponding angles. Congruent. That is what's going to go in our reasons column starting tomorrow. Questions here. This is just basic. I'm going to up it a little bit right now on number 2. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right. I feel like a lot of you guys can do it when it's this type of diagram, right? My 2 lines cut by a transversal and I form 8 angles. What happens now in number 2 when the diagram looks a little different? But I'm still looking for those special angles. So I'm asking you, what's the value of X? What's the value of Y? Well, we know we're not going to mix X and Y together. That's a disaster. So let's just focus on the 2 angles that involve Y right now. Let's focus on angle Y and the Y minus 50 angle. I need your help. What type of angles are they? Well, first of all, are they inside or outside the parallel lines? Inside or outside?
Inside.
They're inside. Everyone, yeah, we're good there. They're inside. So it's got to be some type of interior angle. Now, are they on the same side or alternate sides? Yeah. Take a look right here. Here's my transversal. They're on the same side. Put the 2 together. What type of angles are those? Same side. And where'd you tell me they were? Inside or outside? Inside. Okay, you got it. They're same side interior. Now you just got to know the fact. Congruent, supplementary. Look back if you need to. Congruent or supplementary? 6. Alyssa? Supplementary. So now we know what to write. Angle Y plus Y minus 50 should total up to $1.80. Go ahead, solve it. Move the 50 over. Yep, good. 115, right? Whoa. Before I move on, we got to justify it. I need something similar to what I wrote up here. So ready? Parallel lines imply, what type of angles are these now? Same side, interior angles. But now what are we going to put? Are supplementary now. Again, exactly what we're going to write in the reasons column tomorrow. You and your group, 30 seconds. What type of angles are 2x and the 90? What type of angles are the 2x and the right angle I provided you? Name them. Try to name them real quick. Discuss it in your group.
Same side interior.
And what do we notice again? They are same side interior. Perfect. So what's the equation going to look like? 2x plus that right angle, 90, equals 180. There we go. Yep. So now we can solve for x. $45. And then my justification, I'm not going to have you write it again, but my justification would be the same as the justification for finding y. Okay. Now we're going to get a little bit more difficult, and I'm just going to let you and your group take over. Look at number 3. You guys see the arrows on those two lines, meaning they're parallel? You and your group discuss, how can I find x or y? Are there any special angles we've talked about today? Or heck, anything we've learned in Unit 1 or 2 that I can apply here? All right, so I'll give you guys a little time. Go ahead. Discuss your greatness in your group here. How you got x or y. Because I think once you find one, the other one, it's not too bad. Just got to get started somewhere. Anybody confident here? Nobody's confident. Cormac, your group confident? What do you want to start with?
X.
Yeah, what'd you find x as?
70 degrees.
It is 70, yeah. How'd you guys figure that out?
Because it's corresponding.
Yeah, it is corresponding. A lot of people can't see that because here's why. Let me do a little magic up here. This is getting in your way. This line segment's getting in your way. Watch. I get rid of that line segment and the 50 and the y here. Everyone see how I take the x, slide it down, it would plop right on top of the 70, making it corresponding. Correct. So it's 70 because parallel lines imply corresponding angles congruent. So now that I found x is 70, I think y now, if we're on top of our game, what does 70, 50, and y all add up to? 180, because it forms a straight angle, right? Don't say linear pairs because there's 3 of them, not 2. So y, you can do 180 minus the 70 Cormac and his group just found, minus the 50 we were given. Angle y should be 60. And my best justification, I guess, is straight angles equal 180. I don't want to say anything about supplementary because that's only for 2 angles. Did anybody, and just curious, did anybody see that was 50, so that makes that 50 up here? Because it's alternate interior. And then you could have said there's 180 degrees in a triangle. That's the other way to get to it. But are we okay why at least this is 70 because they're corresponding? Okay, let's go. More work in your group. I'm only going to do the last problem with you. So number 4 in your group. Oh, before you start, are there any markings, any arrows on the diagram? So we don't know they're parallel until I read the directions now. Everyone seeing the directions? AB, new symbol, parallel to CD. So now you can make your arrows on AB and CD. All right, about another minute or so. EGA, everyone look at that angle. Can you label that angle as 2x? EGA, find that angle and label it 2x before I let you go in your groups. 2x. GHC, find that angle. GHC, everyone put a 5x minus 54 there. And now you and your group. First thing, what type of angles are they? Second thing, are they congruent or supplementary? And then solve it. Go ahead. What type of angles are they? Congruent, supplementary? Write your equation.
So we add 54.
Actually, yeah, if you shift it over, it would work better. So you have to find it. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's what I did. Oh, when visiting,
Yeah, you should.
Caroline's.
Okay, hopefully you guys found they're corresponding, so they're equal. After setting them equal to each other, you found x was equal to 18. It did say explain your reasoning. And I'm trying to get you guys in the habit. I know it seems very repetitive, but that's what I wanted to see. Parallel lines imply name the type of angles, corresponding angles, and then tell me what you know about them. In this case, are congruent. Okay. All we needed to do was find x there. It didn't say to find the angles. Yep. Yep. And last one here. This is the second time now we're seeing this. Two angles, same diagram now, same diagram. Two angles are a ratio of 2 to 3. The 2 to 3 I can't do anything with. Okay, can't do anything with the 2 to 3. But I can do something with 2x and 3x. So reminder, anytime you see numbers in a ratio, don't do anything with them, put x's with them, then label your diagram. So everyone label now BGH as 2x and GHD as 3x. GHD. Follow it with your fingers if you need to, or your pen or pencil. GHD, 3x. All right, back to your groups. What type of angles are they, and what do we know about them? So you can set up an equation, right? What type of angles are they? Are they congruent or supplementary? Look where they are.
Two x plus 3x equals 180. Not like the parallel lines imply the same side of the angles. That's 36.
Good job, everyone. You're finding those are same side interior, so hopefully you're adding them together because they're supplementary and setting them equal to 180. Go ahead, solve for x. And then there is a second part to this, which is now find the measure of those angles after you find x. So we got to take 36, plug it back into 2x and 3x. And let's see what we got. 72 degrees for BGH and 108 for GHD. And there is a third part, right? Explain. So again, start it off, parallel lines, imply. What type of angles were these? Make sure we write same side, interior angles, and then what are you going to tell me about them? What are they? Supplementary. There you go. All right. Again, you may have missed it when I said it at the beginning of class, but textbook pages back on Classroom, like Unit 1. You got to check your answers too on Classroom as well. So get started on those. Yeah, are we coming in after today? Okay. Make sure you come at the beginning. All right. Okay. Stephanie, are you coming in today or when? Okay. So just let me know a day here.
Yeah,
Okay. And you can do it during study if you have study hall.
okay,
Because I don't care. The period doesn't matter to me because you're just taking a test. So you let me know.
okay.
Okay. Doesn't have to be now, just
Okay.
before the end of the week. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.